Yeah, guys, we're back. Smart to everybody out there. 93rd video? That's right. Oh man, I'm feeling good today, guys. I'm feeling good. Feeling like clowning around a bit. See what that says. It might be backwards on your screen. I guess it says laugh a lot. You gotta laugh sometimes, guys, man. All the spiritual talk, all the things we're doing, it could seem to be a little bit heavy sometimes, man. Like, we like to go deep. I like to go deep, but we can't forget to have a good time and have a laugh. Like, I think sometimes in my past few videos, I might have seen a little, serious. Although I do tend to joke around a lot, but excuse me, joking around is all part of the lesson. You gotta have fun with it, guys. You gotta have fun. You cannot get too serious, man. Cause like, what does that mean anyway? To be serious? I meet people who are like, I'm a serious person. It's like, well, what are you trying to say? What does that mean, man? And even when people come at you, man, even when they come at you funny, or try to play you, or try to disrespect you and stuff, man. Like, don't let nobody disrespect you. Like, if you need to handle your business and set them straight. Not through violence, but if you need to speak your piece and say what you have to say to put them in check, do it. I'm not saying be a coward, I'm saying if somebody swing on you and any of that type of stuff, then you gotta handle your business, just don't kill nobody, but, do what you gotta do. But I know how it is, man, because like, we're into all this stuff, man. It's so heavy, it's so serious, it's so deep, and you do start to develop a kind of superiority complex a little bit, man. Like, for people that's just not into this, it's hard not to get that way. It's like sometimes, you figure people are like, oh, I'm not justifying what they do, but you see why these so-called elites look down on the rest of the population, because they're like, well, damn, man, if they don't know about this, and that, why should we give them all this, respect and stuff, man? And it's like, it's just funny though, man, because it's like sometimes I come across individuals, if I go out, like I don't do bars and shit, man, but if I do go out, you might get a clown once in a while, man, a funny guy, he'll come out, want to start throwing comments and jokes. Excuse me, it's my water, man, water's over there. But anyway, people want to come out with jokes and shit, man, and they be like, oh, what are you wearing all these rings for? Oh, what does that mean? Why you got an ankh on your neck? Why you got these tattoos? And it's like, I just ignore these cats, man. I don't even get into it with them and shit, man, because they ain't worth my time. But there are those rare moments when, you be like, oh, man, you look like a shaman. Why you doing this? Why you doing that? And you want to just come out, like with some Disney shit and be like, don't you disrespect me, little man. Don't you derogate or deride. You're in my world now, not your world. And I got friends on the other side. He's got friends on the other side. That's an echo, gentlemen. Just a little parlor trick, little something we got down here in Louisiana. Sit down at my table, put your mind at ease. If you relax, you'll enable me to do anything I please. That's a little Dr. Facilia, man, from that Disney movie. Check it out, just type in, I got friends on the other side. That's how I be feeling, man. I'm clowning. I'm having a good time, I feel funny, I feel happy. I am funny in my own world. But nah, man, I just want to have a good time, man. I'm just throwing this video up just to have a little comedy in there, man, because sometimes we tend to get too serious and all this shit. And it is serious, but at the same time, it should be fun, But that's how I be feeling sometimes, man. Like, I want to just bust out, start singing. Yeah, man, But anyway, man, so let's see. Do we have some? Let me see if I can throw down some serious stuff here, man, for a minute. But it's true. I do got friends on the other side. We all do. Everybody does. We all have people on the other side. People, whether they be entities, spirits, ghosts, demons, hobbits, whatever, man. We're into all this weird shit, man. That's weird for the mass majority of the people of the planet, but we know it's a reality, man, So, Shamanic Mystic 1. on YouTube, right? He dropped, he's been watching my videos. Thank you, brother, for watching my videos and everything. This brother here, Shamanic Mystic One, he does get down with a lot of good spiritual stuff, practices, some hoodoo things, you know, cleansing rituals, things like that. So, you know, check him out. You know, if you guys are into that kind of stuff, he has a lot of videos up teaching how to do these things. So check him out if that's what you're into. But he did ask a question, and he was like, I don't have it in front of me, but basically, brother was like, you know, and thank you for watching my videos, man. But yeah, he was like, he wanted me to get into what he said? Like angelic forces and reincarnated angels and all this kind of stuff, angels coming into this reality. Now, in the past, I might have gotten into some stuff about angels. I'm quite sure I did, but it's all right. It's worth getting into again. Now, for a lot of you guys out there, like, who want to get into angel work and all that stuff, you might be a little bit disappointed with, you know, how I come at it. Because, like I said in the past, you know, angel work is basically like, before we even get into angel work, we have to get into what are angels. And I believe, like, not too many videos ago, I've gone into this a little bit. But, yeah, so you have to comprehend and understand what is an angel. You look all throughout history, you have angels were basically intermediaries between God, or all that is, and humans. Now, you see correlations, right? You have to look at all things, man. We went into Papa Legba, we went into Barone Samedi, we went into all these spirits and entities and all these gods and deities. And many of them have their middlemen, or middle women, if you want to call it that. Intermediaries that basically, they are the mid-person that speaks to you and speaks for the creator itself. And this comes through many forms, in the form of prophets, sages, magicians at sometimes, mediums, all these things throughout history. There are many different names, but you see the connecting points. Even when it comes to like the Seth material, you have the speakers, you have the Sumari, you have all these characters that basically speak for, I mean, what am I doing, basically? I mean, I'm not saying that I'm an angel. Or am I? Who knows? That's up for you guys to ponder on, man. But, you know, when you want to talk about angels in human form, what does that mean, an angel in human form? Well, basically, look at individuals that are out here, whether they be on the street, whether they be on YouTube. Look at the information they're giving. Listen to the information they're giving, and think about, once again, what are angels and what have they been doing throughout history. You know, the days have changed now. We don't have times of the Bible. We don't have burning bushes anymore. We don't get visions as popular as they used to be. We now have the internet, where one video can go across the world in 0.0 seconds, and everybody has it now. So this is the era, and this is the medium that we're working with now. But times have changed, man. There was a time when Storytime would set. You go way back, man. This is way back in history. And I only got a few minutes for this because I got to start class soon, so I'm going to keep it brief. But there will be more Storytime with Set. But for this story, it's not really a story. I'm just explaining some things. Maybe we'll have stories on another day. But there was a time when so-called angels were all around us. And the angels were coming from basically other timelines as we would perceive time. They manifested themselves, they were able to manifest themselves throughout different timelines from wherever their moment point was. And they were perceived by the inhabitants of those realities by whatever form that those inhabitants could imagine them as, and through their understanding. So if they had a limited understanding, or wherever the understanding was at that point in their time zone, in the timeline of official consciousness, that's how they would see things. So this is why you have many, many, many different stories of people seeing leprechauns. No, it wasn't a leprechaun, it was a fairy. No, it wasn't a fairy, it was an angel of the Lord. No, it wasn't an angel of the Lord, it was a Loa. You have, even, it was a demon. You have all these different things, and all of those were the same thing. Now, you do have, there are two types of individuals, right? You have one group, well, I don't want to say different types of individuals, but basically it narrows down to, these are some of the things he narrows down to, right? For example, you have physical beings in a physical reality, and pretty much from their moment point, their official line of consciousness, they project themselves, they receive information that they know that's deeply encoded within themselves throughout their lives, whether it be reincarnation as they think of it or not. But they have all this information encoded within them. They then take that information and do their own projections. They project themselves into other realities, and they teach from that point. So the inhabitants of those realities will get a different visual for each one, depending on, like I said, depending on their belief systems and their understanding of whatever their reality is. Then you have the non-physical beings, entities that exist in other realities as well, which are no different from the ones in the physical. The only difference is that these physical reality beings have a physical reality body and the other ones don't. That they also manifest themselves into other realities from their official timeline of consciousness, wherever that may be, in non-physical points. So what I'm trying to say is that when it comes to angels, you have all of these beings from all different realities. Now, there's another point you gotta understand. Like physical reality, non-physical reality, there is no difference. The only difference is physical reality individuals have physical bodies, and the ones who are not in physical reality, they don't. But they can still operate on the same level as far as when they're bringing this information forth, because even though they're coming from a non-physical reality, once they go out of body and they're in this non-physical state, they're able to access a much deeper and a wider span, a wider range of knowledge and information that they could get into. And you know, a lot of individuals are not even aware that they're doing this sometimes. You know, they could be going on these excursions and teaching, holding classes, educating others, and here in the physical, they won't even be aware that. They wake up and they're like, I had some kind of dream last night, but I don't know what that was about. So they forget about it. But there are some who do this knowingly and consciously, and they travel out, they explore the wider range of the inner universe, and they expand, and they teach individuals things. This is why I've gone in the past about how a lot of inventions that we get are pretty much coming from alternate timelines and breaking through camouflage systems of whatever the camouflage is, that reality, and interpreted by the inhabitants of those realities and based on their understanding. So when you take the pyramids of Kemet or Egypt, for example, the original multi-dimensional blueprints for those were probably something completely, and they were completely different from what we got. We got pyramids, and even that is still a technological advancement that cannot be replicated to this day. But that is what we got on a physical level. It's like, okay, this is the information we have, so we're going to build these things with stone, this, and that, and that's how we ended up with that. The original blueprints, though, was something completely different. The inhabitants of other realities could pick up that same information. They will not get pyramids. They'll get something else. Probably something more grandiose than what we have in this reality, or maybe something less. You take, for example, you look at the other pyramids around the world, the Maya, the Aztec, all these type of things. You can clearly see that they were advanced in their own way, maybe not on the same scale as the pyramids of Giza or Kemet, but in their own right, in their own portion of their reality, they were still a feat that is hard to replicate, reproduce, and replicate to this day. So, when you get into angels and all this kind of stuff, it's a very deep subject, because a lot of it ties into your understanding and your comprehension of what is an angel. And many of us, it's kind of hard to say, man. Actually, it's not, but it's hard for individuals to accept, is what I should say. That, see, when we think of angels, right, a lot of individuals, they think of biblical angels, coming down from the heavens, wings, all this stuff. But you have to remember, the concept of angels with wings, I mean, where does it even say that in a lot of religious texts that they had wings? A lot of this stuff was explained, and wings in itself, right? Like, when you see old artwork of beings flying with wings, you have to remember, during that time, and those times, they didn't have words to express like levitation, beings just flying. So they had to express it as best they could, which is, well, this person appeared to be flying, so as far as we know, birds fly, so we're going to depict them with wings flying. Now, this is not to downplay and say that they didn't see these things, or these individuals weren't actually flying, but this was the best way they could explain it. The same thing when they have depictions of they were flying discs in the skies. They didn't say UFOs at those times, because that word wasn't around, unidentified flying objects. So you would get flying shields or shields of silver in the sky. You got to read between the lines, man. You got to really read between the lines on what's going on in these passages and stuff. So a lot of you are or could be so-called angels in these lifespans, man, and even now. But that's up to you to decide, man. Remember, it all comes down to belief. If a person believes they're an angel, you're gonna be an angel. It really comes down to what you feel and what you believe and how it could be. But yeah, man, as far as angel work and all this stuff, it always comes down, once again, I have to keep going back on this. It's always going to come back to your belief systems and what you believe in these things. Because what you believe and what you put in is what you're going to get out of it. If you believe that you are working with some powerful Enochian angelic sigils and all this stuff, it's going to work for you. It really is going to work for you. But that is just a compliment and a testament to your own power. Because remember, you are the one projecting this out. It's your power, it's your energy that's going to go out to this stuff. So these are the things that you have to consider when you start getting into angel work and angelic work. Now, like I said in the last video, I know a lot of people, a lot of individuals in this reality, you guys want to work with symbols, and that's cool. Work with the symbols, work with them, have fun with them, change them, drop them when you don't need them no more, leave them behind. They start to affect you. You feel you're being haunted by an angel. People said, oh, you don't work with Enochian magic, or this angel's dangerous, or this is dangerous. I mean, that's because that's what they brought upon themselves. I've never had any haunting issues. I've never been possessed. I never had demons come at me. And the occasions that shit did come at me, like I told you that story way back when something jumped on the bed and was trying to choke me, trying to hold me down. I didn't even panic when that happened, because I was already hip to all this shit, and I know the power lies with me. So we could debate on what was that. Was it a manifestation of my own? Was it a dark entity? Was it a shadow person? Was it a hobbit goblin? Doesn't matter. The point is, in that moment when it happened, I was still aware that, well, all right, this is happening now, but the power still lies with me. Nothing can hurt you. I've said this many times. Nothing can hurt you. Nothing can stop you. And there is no death. I mean, of course, the physical body ages, it dies. But at the same time, there is no death, and you have to remember that. So I say, play with everything, laugh a lot, man, laugh a lot, work with all these, anything you want to work with it, because if you believe in it, it's going to happen. But remember, whatever you believe and put into it is exactly what you're going to get out of it. you believe you're going to work with these powerful angelic forces and they're going to work for you, that's what you're going to get. Powerful angelic forces that will work for you and help you out through life. If you need a guardian angel, you're going to get a guardian angel. Don't forget about the inner self, guys. You know, I know this is going way back on some old videos, but remember, you know, all those videos going back about the inner self knows what you need. That is your, if you want to look at it this way, that is your angel. That is your guardian angel. That is your protector. But it's basically you. It's a portion of yourself. So, and don't get spooked. You know, when you start messing around with all this stuff, and I'm gonna do a ritual, I'm gonna do a seance, this shit will happen. You will get the results that you're expecting to get. A lot of people get spooked. You know, they want to pull out the Ouija board, they want to start messing with all these things, they want to burn the candles, and that's fun. It is, and it's interesting because you start to see your abilities, your talents manifest. But when shit starts contacting you, don't get spooked and like, oh, this is evil, it's a demon, or don't panic. Don't panic. It's your own power, it's your own self. Don't get into it that way, man. You got to remember that. Don't lose yourself. All the rituals, all the ceremonies, all the tributes, remember where the power is coming from. Remember where the source of energy is coming from. Do not lose yourself in all this stuff, man. It's all coming from you, but have fun with it at the same time. So I gotta get ready. I gotta get out of here. I gotta go teach. Like I said, this was just a little video. I wanted to have a good time. I threw in Shamanic Mystic 1's question in there, but I just wanted to wild out for a minute, guys, to cheer everybody up, to let you know that I'm still all about being the trickster all the time. You know me, man. Gotta keep my trickster energy going. All right, guys. Talk to y'all later. Take care.